Alright everybody, so what I'm going to be doing in the next couple videos is a outline of what I do when I get a used bow, how I find these deals. I know a lot of you are probably like me, hunting on a budget, and a used bow, you can find some very good deals, very good bows, very nice equipment for your money. One thing that I would warn you guys about if you're buying a used bow or anything like that, you don't get the warranty. For most bow companies, except for Elite Archery, the warranty is only for the original owner of the bow. And so if you get a bow, be forewarned that you're usually going to risk not having a warranty. For some guys that totally eliminates them from buying a used bow. But let me ease your guys' mind. I've picked up an awful lot of used bows off of eBay. I don't usually buy from bow shops or pawn shops just because they usually know what they've got and they kick up the price a little bit, but you can still find a decent deal. But I buy bows, used bows, so that I can resell them. So for me, it doesn't really present an option to buy from a dealer or things of that nature, a bow that's already been looked over or once over. I'm talking about buying something off of eBay from a seller that is counting on feedback. I've found that eBay is very good about, I've had a couple bows where I've had to get my money refunded because they arrived, and only two, but they arrived and either a limb was cracked or something wasn't as described, and eBay covers that under their buyer protection program. And even Archery Talk, most of the guys you find on there are very reputable. They care about their reputation, so they're not going to mislead you or misguide you. I've found very honest people, so don't let that sway you from buying a used bow either. You can generally trust what people put on their ads and things of that nature because they don't want a bad reputation. But anyway, what I've got today is I've picked up off of eBay, just had it, the cam changed on it. I didn't have anything else done on it. It's a Mathews Reason. I got it in a 27.5 inch draw length. This is a 6.5 model, and I had a different cam put on it for 29 inch draw length because I plan on shooting this bow a little bit. For one thing, I've shot a lot of Mathews, didn't like them, but another story for another day. I really like this Reason, so I plan on keeping it. And before I got it set up, before I started shooting it, I wanted to give you guys an idea of what I do with a bow when I get it from eBay. First and foremost, if you're going to buy a bow, make sure you're buying it from somebody who has a number of different feedback scores online. You can read people's interactions with them, whether it be eBay or Archery Talk. You can talk to people, you can read their reviews on this person as a seller, and most of the time you get a pretty good idea of what they're doing. That's first and foremost. Don't buy or don't bet on something where somebody doesn't have any kind of feedback. You can't tell. I mean, it's very risky to do that because they may set up a ghost account or something where all they're doing is trying to get rid of a broken piece of equipment. You don't want to do that. The person that I bought this from off of eBay had a number of good, it was actually a pawn shop, and a number of good reviews. They were experienced as a seller, so I was pretty comfortable that what they had described to me was indeed what I was going to be getting. Also want to make sure that you get pictures of the item you're going to purchase, especially if you're going to purchase it online and you're not going to go actually physically hold and touch the item. You want a lot of pictures, and you want a lot of pictures detailing the condition. You want some close-ups of the cams, because not only can you see in those close-ups of the cams, not only can you see the cam itself and whether there's any damage or whether the bow, that's often one of the first things you'll see if a bow's been dry fired or anything like that, is you'll see cam bend, you'll see axle bend, you'll see breakage cracking around the limbs, and also it gives you a good idea of the limb at its weakest. Around the cams is where the limb appears to be, at least to me, it makes sense that it is at its weakest. It's the thinnest, it has the most wear and tear on that portion of them because it's directly in line with the cam and the string. So you want pictures of the cams. You certainly want pictures of the overall, the grip on the bow. What I found is that a lot of bows, especially Mathews, with the camo will wear or present to be a little bit more shiny. That's why you want good pictures, but it'll be a little bit more shiny around the grip if the bow's been shot a lot. And you can usually tell by the pictures whether or not a bow's been shot a lot, especially these Mathews, because the camo finish starts to wear off. So you can tell if a bow's been shot a bunch. This particular Mathews hadn't been shot too much. The finish on the camouflage is starting to wear just a little bit. And let me see if I can pull it up a little bit closer to you. A little bit right there where my middle finger is. The camo is starting to wear a little bit, and that's from when you hold it with the grip and your thumb rubs against that camouflage finish. So Matthews are characteristic for that. Other bow companies as well. Bowtech, you can tell, usually a Bowtech, if you're going to buy a used Bowtech, especially with that in velvet finish, they'll wear a little bit. And you also want a good picture of the cable guard, whether it be a cable slide, cable roller guard, whatever it might be on a different model. You want pictures of that. And you can usually tell based upon where in the cables, the rollers, things of that nature, the slide, whether or not the bow has been shot a lot. So those are good indicators. Also, parts of the bow that wear down. Most people, I've found that most people don't keep a bow long enough if they're going to sell it on eBay or something like that. They don't keep it long enough for these rubber pieces, for instance, string stops, to wear down. And they certainly don't replace them because they're kind of a hassle to get replaced, and you got to send the bow to the bow shop, order parts, especially on Matthews, who does business only with their dealers. But Bowtech string stops, PSC string stops, anything like that, you can usually tell how much the bow's been shot by how much wear is in the actual part of the bow that will degrade, and that being the rubber stops. As well, you want to make sure that you get good pictures of the string. String's not always indicative because people can wax the string and make it look brand new. So be mindful of that. But most of the time you can tell, you know, string wear where it comes in contact with the, you know, the string stops. And you can also tell the serving. Also, you want a good picture of the knock point if you can get. I mean, this is being pretty picky, but it's just what I do. So you can tell if the serving has kind of started to separate where the knocking point is. You can tell that bow's, you know, had a lot of arrows knocked in it, been shot a lot. I'll detail just in the next video. I'll detail a little bit about some of the things I do when I actually get the bow. But this is just a brief overview of what I do when I'm looking for a bow and evaluating whether or not I want to purchase a bow online. Obviously, you're not going to know everything about the bow. You're not going to know if it's been dry fired. For sure, but you can do some pretty, you know, wise things to make sure that you're covering yourself. And for most online retailers or sellers that provide a forum for people to sell their used equipment, do a very good job of making sure that you have your money refunded if something goes awry. Little story real quick, I bought a PSC bow not too long ago, and in fact it was an X-Force Evo 7, and one of the limbs was cracked on it, just a hairline crack, but it's not safe to shoot if you get a bow in that condition. And so I emailed the seller, and indeed he refunded me the amount of money it costed to get a new pair of limbs set on it. And that was very commendable of him. I left him a very favorable review, and the bow got fixed. So that's just some experiences that I've had in dealing online. Not very often that happens, but it does happen. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully you like the future videos about this Matthew Reason 6.5. I'm not going to do any kind of formal review on it until I get it set up and get everything in line and tune with it. And for now, thanks and have a great day.